Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is my last favorites video for the year of 2023. I have done skincare, I have done makeup, and now it is time to do perfume. My love of perfume is nothing new. I do incorporate perfume videos into my content, usually once, maybe twice a month. I do a live with Abby Bliss White as often as we can on perfume because we both hold a very special place in our heart for fragrance. And I have decided to make this video on simply the discoveries that have made my favorites list this past year. Not necessarily the ones that I have used the most, but the ones that I have acquired in 2023, found out about in 2023. Maybe they launched in 2023, added them to my collection. A couple of them, one of them I haven't. Some of them I just have decants of and they're on my wish list. But they're just ones that I could not be happier about adding to my collection. Now, I don't particularly, well, I was gonna say, let me start out with my scent aesthetic, what I typically go for. I typically go for a little bit maybe darker scents, not necessarily floral. I do have a very strong floral in here that just stole my heart, but I really like deeper suedes and vanillas and really like the boozy side of scents. That is like my favorite. But some of these kind of surprised me with how much I love them. So I have 6 full bottles. I have 3 decants and I have 1 that I had a sample of. I went straight through it. I'll just talk about it because it's on my wish list, but I absolutely loved it, for a total of 10. So let's jump right in. I'm gonna start with probably the most polarizing one of the entire year, in my opinion. I'm on a lot of fragrance groups on Facebook, so I see a lot of people's opinions, especially when something new launches. And this launched this past year and people either loved it or they despised it. Like there was not much of a it's okay type of median there. It was a love or hate. For me, it's a love, and it's Amouage Guidance. Not only do I love this bottle, hands down my favorite Amouage bottle. I do love their bottles anyways. I love the shape of them, but the color story of this one is just speaks to me. I love it so much. Now I'm going to be putting up, in fact, I need to scoot over so I can put up the notes. I'm going to be putting up notes, and I'm taking these notes from Fragrantica. Sometimes the notes are off a little bit. Typically, they're pretty spot on. It's just easier for me to gather my information there. This is predominantly, to me, a nutty perfume in the way of hazelnut. And that surprised me because I don't love hazelnut as far as like eating a hazelnut or anything with hazelnut flavoring. I really didn't think I liked the way hazelnut smelled until this perfume. It also has pear in it, which maybe helps cut it, but I get more of like the pear juice than I get like an actual pear, which to me, that's very different. It does have some jasmine in it, which I personally don't pick up. It's definitely not indolic or like super prominent. So if you're not someone who loves a white floral, I don't think that's gonna put you off from this. But then you get into the dry down and it has some vanilla and sandalwood. It's got some ambergris in it, which sometimes works for me and sometimes doesn't. It just works for me in this. Now, I will say for the first like, I don't know, 2 minutes of me spraying this on, I do not like it. There is something in that very top layer that I don't like at all. And when I first sprayed this, I thought, well, this is a fail. I am not gonna love it. But it truly only takes a couple of minutes for that to completely dissipate and the star of the show comes through. And this, I don't really, because it's such a love or hate, I don't really understand why people don't love it. But I do. It's kind of cozy. It's very feminine. It garners a lot of compliments, which I find my most polarizing scents in my collection are the ones that get me the most compliments. And this is no different. So Amouage Guidance, very beautiful, but not one to blind buy at all. Really, I don't suggest blind buying any Amouages. Definitely get a sample of this first. And I am gonna bring Chad in at the very end, have him smell all these and tell y'all what his favorite is. So stay tuned for that because I know a lot of y'all have been asking him to come back on camera, especially in perfume videos. This next one is one that is very, very heavily associated with memory to me, which scent often does. I bought this on our trip to Scotland this year. I wore it every single day because I wanted every time for me to spray it, I wanted it to take me back there, and it does every single time I spray it. And this is from Carolina Herrera, and it's from her like Privé line, and it's bronze tonka. First of all, this bottle, oh, it's so beautiful. And this is a 3.4 ounce. So it's 100 ml. It seems even bigger than that to me. This, when I tell you, we went into Harrods and spent a good half a day. Harrods and Harvey Nichols. And I can't even tell you how many bottles of perfume we smelled. I'm surprised our noses still worked after a few hours. Out of all of the ones that we smelled, this was hands down Chad's favorite. So I will be interested to see if he picks this one blindly once I let him smell. But this is, like I was saying, one of those deeper scents. It's got some oud in it. It has coffee, it has leather, sandalwood. It's got some saffron in it, which I would not consider this a bright scent by any means. But what saffron does in a scent to me is it brightens that scent up just a little bit. So while it doesn't necessarily make this a bright fragrance, what it does is it cuts those other super heavy notes of oud, and oud especially. It's got cypriol oil in it. It kind of cuts that down and makes them near perfect, in my opinion. This could easily be unisex, and a lot of people would say it's probably more of like a nighttime fragrance. I wore this all day long. I wore it outside, I wore it inside. I would wear it in hot weather and cold weather. It doesn't matter. I love this. It just is the scent, the one in my collection of well over, including decants, 200 scents that holds the biggest nostalgic memory to me and takes me back to a place. And for that reason alone, I would love it. But the fact that it smells as good as it smells is another reason I love it. So definitely worth checking out when I'm filming this video, which is probably about a week before I actually put it up. So hopefully it still will be available. This is available on FragranceNet for a very good price. So I will try to link it if it's still available. Definitely one to try to get your hands on though. Carolina Herrera Bronze Tonka. Oh, y'all, this next one. Oh, this next one. Hands down, my favorite vanilla discovery of the year. And this was by far a very vanilla heavy year as far as fragrances went. Now, I don't know that this was launched. No, it wasn't. It was launched in 2022. So this isn't because everything was vanilla. I just feel like everything that came out had some basis of vanilla in it. And this is my favorite. Oh, Lorenzo Pazzaglia Van P Rum. I say Van P Rum. Oh my goodness. Not only is it my favorite vanilla that I discovered this year, but it is one of my favorite boozy scents of all time because it does have the rum in there. But this is quite honestly just a boozy vanilla. It is what some might consider sweet, but it's a dark sweet. It is not cloying at all. It has 6 different notes of vanilla. That is how heavy on the vanilla this fragrance is. It also has patchouli, which is my all-time favorite note in perfumery. It has caramel, which adds to that sweetness. But again, it is not a cloying sweet. It's not like a cotton candy sweet. It's not like I'm back in that 90s and thinking I'm 17 again sweet. It's not that. It is sophisticated. It is a deep fragrance that smells so divine. And I need 3 sprays of this. I do 1 spray on each arm and then a spray on my shirt, and I'm good to go for the entire day. Definitely one that garners compliments as well. But if you are someone who likes vanilla, if you are someone who likes boozy, this is the place to go. He actually just launched one that has sweet in the name, I think, that I really want to get my hands on because it's gotten some good reviews too. Van Ecstasy is another great vanilla in this line. It is on my wish list per se, but this one, hands down, I got quite a few samples from the line, was my favorite and one that I instantly purchased the full bottle of. All right, let's talk about floral, shall we? I had mentioned that I had one discovery this year that is very much a floral perfume and very much a favorite. Now, again, I had mentioned that I am not huge on floral. I don't really gravitate towards heavy florals in fragrance, but I do love a tuberose. And again, I feel like I'm just really attracted to those polarizing scents and notes. Tuberose is something you either like or you don't like. Now, tuberose can go very wrong in a fragrance. It can smell very dirty and dank and just not good. But if it's done right, like it's done in this, it is oh so right and oh so good. Matiere Premiere French Flower. This has become my favorite tuberose of all time. And when I tell you I have smelled a lot of tuberoses, and I have a lot of tuberoses in my collection, I have a lot. I was on about a 6-month kick in 2022 of tuberose, and it's pretty much all I bought. So I am well versed in scents that contain tuberose, and this is by far my favorite. Matiere Premiere is a house that grow a lot of their own ingredients. They use their own tuberoses that they grow for this. And I think why I like this is because it also has ginger in it. And ginger has become a favorite note of mine. Some of my all-time favorite scents have ginger in it. And there's just a little bit of a spiciness that it brings to the fragrance on top of the tuberose. Now, it also has ambroxan, which is a synthetic note. And a lot of times people will completely turn their heads from a fragrance that has ambroxan as a note because they don't like that note. And I do think that sometimes it can be overpowering and make something smell incredibly synthetic. To me, that's not the case with this at all. This also has pear in it. Again, I don't smell the pear. The majority of what I smell is tuberose with a little bit of ginger, and it has Chinese tea in it. I just think it's a very well blended, simplistic fragrance that can smell complex, if that even makes sense. It's beautiful. And quite honestly, one of my favorite combinations of all time is French flower and Kies marshmallow. Oh my goodness. This together, not only does it last all day, but it smells beyond divine. However, I adore this on its own as well. So definitely my favorite floral discovery of 2023. Now, up until this point, I have talked about all of the fragrances that I have mentioned in previous videos. However, I have not spoken about this next one because I got it fairly recently, I believe in November, but oh my word, it instantly became a favorite. This house in general has become a favorite discovery of mine in 2023. This is from Sora Dora, and this is one of the new launches, and it is Jany. Jany, and oh my word. They also launched Mallow around the same time. Mallow actually launched maybe a month before Jany. I also discovered Mandorle this past year, which I love. It's a beautiful cherry almond scent. Very, very pretty. This one though, this one is like me in a beautiful bottle. I love a square bottle. It is probably my favorite shape of a perfume bottle. There's something about it that just speaks to me. I don't know. And it's got this beautiful like marble cap with the SD for Sora Dora and then Jany on the back. Let's talk about what this smells like. Oh my goodness. I can't not just read these notes. Now I know they're going to be up on the screen, but y'all, cinnamon, puff pastry, vanilla, almond, caramel, nutty notes, baked apple, apricot, osmanthus, plum, white musk, and peach. Yes, times 12. I mean, every single one of those notes, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. This is what this smells like though, because that's a lot, right? I mean, I don't necessarily get the almond. I actually do kind of get the plum, which is surprising when I tell you what this smells like to me. This smells like when you are baking an apple pie, okay? And the apple pie comes out of the oven, and it's still warm. You cut it and you have all that like caramelly goodness of the juices left like in the bottom of the pie pan. That's what this smells like to me. Not necessarily the actual pie, but it sounds gross, but the liquid remnants from the pie. It sounds so gross. Oh my goodness, that's what it smells like though. And it is heavenly. This is a true gourmand. This is the most gourmand of any of the ones that I'm going to talk about today. But if any of that sounds good to you, you must get your nose on this. From all of the ones that I've smelled from Sora Dora, this is my favorite. Now, Mandorle is a close second, which is why I have the full-size bottle of that. But oh my word, get your nose on that. It's so, so good. And then the last full bottle, y'all probably are not going to be surprised about if you've watched any of my recent perfume videos. But this is a new discovery for me, not only in the perfume, but also the house. I had not smelled anything from this house until this year. And this is Andrea Maack. And this is Pavilion. Talked about it a lot for good reason, because it is absolutely gorgeous. This is one that if you like knew me and knew my preferences, which are absolutely not rose. I am not a rose lover. I'm not a fresh rose lover, but I do like a jammy rose. You might look at this and be like, yeah, Mandy wouldn't like it. Oh, but Mandy does. When you look at the main accords on Fragrantica, the very first one is rose. Again, you wouldn't think I'd like it, but this has honey, it has praline, it has saffron, it does have patchouli, and I get the patchouli, which is probably one of the reasons I like it. Vanilla, it has oud and amber, but this is, and I've, again, said this many times before, but if you have ever smelled Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood, this is a more toned down, wearable version of that. And I'm not saying that's not wearable, but I'm saying one spray and it still might be overpowering. And I am very confident in my perfume wearing. I'm not someone who is shy about it. I will spray and spray and spray, and I will walk into a room and not care. However, I sometimes was a little self-conscious wearing Oud Satin Mood. It just could be so heavy. This is way more wearable. I still only need 2 sprays of this, 3 max, and I'm good to go for the entire day. And it doesn't smell exactly like it, but it is in that same realm with the rose and the oud. It's beautiful. This is like my grown-up, got it together scent. It's in the line of Liebe Intense from YSL, which is another got it together scent for me. If I want to feel uber confident and like I have my act together, whether I truly do or not, this is one of the perfumes that I am going to reach for. It is confidence boosting to me. It is compliment getting. It's absolutely beautiful. And can we just talk about this bottle? I love these bottles. I love these bottles. I was able to do a Zoom call with some other creators and Twisted Lily with Andrea Maack herself, and she's phenomenal. I love all of the reasons behind her scents. I love a lot of other ones. Ceramic is on my wish list. Magma is on my wish list. Really good house to look into, and definitely get your nose on Pavilion. Now, let's talk about a few decants that I have that are now on my wish list for full-size bottles. The first one is a new launch this year from BDK, and it is Vanille Leather. So I just have a little decant. I actually have already gone through a 5 ml decant. This is a 10 ml decant, which I'm making my way through, which is why I know I want a full bottle, because I have a lot of decants. And if I actually finish one and then actually buy another one and still can't stop using it, then I need the full bottle. I've talked about this a lot, so I'm not going to stay on it forever. And to me, the notes do not speak to what this smells like. It has jasmine and tuberose and violet, and I just don't get any of that. It also has leather and patchouli and vanilla and orris root, and that's more along the lines of what I'm getting. I definitely smell the orris root because that lends to the powderiness of this. It is a little bit of a powdery scent, but it is not a baby powder scent. It just has an undertone of powder. I have mentioned before that this, I don't get leather in this, even though it's vanille leather. I get suede. And if you've ever smelled Cuir Beluga by Guerlain and Black Tie by Celine, to me, it's like they had a baby. And you get vanille leather by BDK. I love both. Cuir Beluga is my favorite Guerlain scent. I've gone through multiple decants of that. It definitely stays longer than some of my other Guerlain scents, but it's still not like uber long lasting. Black Tie didn't even last an hour on me. I loved it, but I would never pay that price for a fragrance that did not last an hour on me. This lasts on me, and it smells so similar to both. So just so good. So if you've smelled those two, then you have an inkling of what this smells like. If not, it is a powdery vanilla suede scent. This one was sent to me by a fragrance friend, you know who you are, and I instantly fell in love, and this is my most recent love on my wish list, but definitely one I want a full bottle of. And it's from Perfumes Mentioned, and it is Pegasus Exclusive. I will put a picture of the bottle because all I have is a decant. Y'all. Here's the thing, with Perfumes Mentioned, I really gravitate towards the scents that they market for men, the more masculine scents. I have and love Herrera, And this one is going to be my next. This is, yes, a masculine scent, but one that I have no issues wearing. And it also has lavender in it, which is not my favorite. And I can maybe smell an undertone of it, but it's not the prominent note. What I get out of this is a very grown up almond scent. It also has cardamom in it, which is one of my all-time favorite notes. So I know that helps in the reason that I love it. It also has oud, which if you're gathering, apparently I really like oud. When it's done well, some vanilla and sandalwood and amber, but to me, it's just a grown up almond scent without being sweet. And it is good. Definitely on my wish list. Thank you for sending that and making me want a $300 plus perfume. All right, let me talk about one really quick that I do not have a sample of anymore because I went through it. I don't have a decant. It is not only on my list because I love the scent, but also because of the bottle and what it represents. And it's by Memo Paris Inverness. Can we just talk about this bottle? The bottle itself. Memo does bottles right. I love Memo Paris and I love their bottles. I love Inverness. Have some great memories from Inverness. This has sandalwood, cedar, mate, orris root, amorous, and kayak wood. And I'm going to tell you, this is very similar to my nose to Gris Charnel. I don't know why. I don't know. I would have to look and see what notes they share, if they share notes at all. It's not the same, but I get that feel of Gris Charnel. And I don't care if it's repetitive because the bottle, y'all, the bottle. It's so good. And the scent. If you like Gris Charnel, you would like this one for sure. The last one I'm going to talk about, I am almost done with my 5 ml decant. It might possibly be my next full bottle purchase, but oh my word. I have smelled a lot of Penhaligon scents. I bought in Scotland the Favorite, which is a very feminine baby powder type scent. I love Bewitching Yasmin. I like Changing Constance. I like quite a few of their scents. This one, hands down my favorite. A new release in 2023. The Omniscient Mr. Thompson. And I just have this little decant, but let me put a picture of the bottle because, oh my word, this is part of their like character line where the tops of the bottles are some kind of animal head. This one is an elephant. Another scent that has lavender in it. Oh my word, y'all. This is something that I have gone through a lot at night. It is very comforting to me. It is very similar to Dior Homme Intense, but dare I say even better. And mostly what I get from this is the orris root, which gives it this is a very deep powder, okay? And it's not overly powdery. I don't want you to think that. It's not that. But I can smell that orris root in there. A little bit of the lavender, but honestly, I get a ton of the sesame. A ton. And I love sesame as a note, and this is done well in this fragrance. So if you've smelled Dior Homme Intense, it's very similar to that with a very strong dose of sesame on top. So you have like a nutty overtone. Oh, that's sesame. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's very, very comforting. And like I said, probably and most likely my next full-size bottle gift to myself because I can't stop thinking about it, and I've probably got like 2 sprays left in this 5 ml, which I went through very fast. Okay, now I am done talking about all my fragrances. I'm gonna get Chad. I'm gonna bring him in here. I'm gonna have him smell everything, say his thoughts on them, and then pick his favorite. I'm just gonna hand him one. I'll put a picture of what he's smelling, and he's gonna give his reaction.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Okay.
Okay, number 1.
I like that.
Like a lot, kinda?
Yeah. No, pretty good amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll put that in the yeah side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 2.
You said number 2.
Stop it.
Get not as good as number 1.
Okay. So in the middle.
Number 3.
Yes.
Can I smell number 2? I don't know if I want to smell number 2, but
You're a 4-year-old.
number 2's got a little more of a preferred.
Okay.
Number 3's not bad. Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like it. Still number 1. Number 1's my favorite.
Okay.
Number 2's second.
What do you smell when you smell that?
What do I smell? Perfume.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It smells light and airy.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Number 5.
Oh.
Number 5. Remember those things?
E.T.?
No, not E.T. Those little things. Number 5.
No.
Number 2. Those little game things. Like they teach you like the alphabet things. A.
Oh, yeah.
B.
Yeah.
C. Okay. Like it. Number 1's my favorite. Number 2, second favorite. Maybe number 3 could be my third favorite. I don't know.
So you don't like this any more than the other ones?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's not. Let me smell one more time. Is that honey in that?
No.
I smell honey.
Definitely.
I mean, I like it. Number 1's my favorite so far. I think this would be better on the body than.
What don't you like about it?
I like it. Just it's not.
Does it smell too girly? Does it smell?
No, not girly. I can't point my finger at it.
Smell too manly? Like something
Is
you
there some
would want to
woodsy?
wear?
Is there a woodsy kind of smell?
Yeah,
a little bit of woods.
Which you normally love.
I know. I think it needs a touch of something else.
Like sweetness or something?
Maybe a little bit of more cedar. Is there cedar in things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Perfumer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's this one.
What number?
Let's see, 1, 2, 7.
Number 7. Number 7. It's not bad. It's not my favorite.
So that's like your least favorite so far?
Yeah. Number 7 is my least favorite.
Okay, so all these are my favorites.
So. I know. Well, I can have a least favorite of your
I know.
favorites. It's a little least favorite than 7.
Really? That's your least favorite?
A little bit.
You know why? Because it's floral. You don't like a floral.
Maybe.
All right, this is 9.
Oh yeah, I like this one too a little bit. This is some type of food smell.
Yeah. Can you tell what kind?
It's not caramel corn, is it? Something like that?
It's got caramel in it.
I don't know. Like, not butterscotch or toffee or something kind of, but like I don't know.
Like apple pie.
A little bit apple
Caramelly
pie.
apple pie.
See, I smell more caramel than apple.
Yeah. See, I mentioned that I smelled like, to me it smells like the liquid that's in the bottom of the pie pan once you cut the pie.
Yep. I like it. Makes me want to eat something.
So that and number 1 are still your favorite?
Let me see number 1. Number 2, yeah. They're close. But I think probably 1. They're close.
Does it remind you of anything?
Is it Scotland? Is that the one I like the best?
Yes, it is. I told him, I said, I wonder if this will be his favorite. Bronze tonka.
Tonka. Is that like buffalo?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Do they get scents from buffaloes?
It's tonka bean, not a tatonka.
I said buffalo Tonka.
No, you said, I thought you meant, is that what the word means?
No, I thought maybe they had
tonka bean.
That's my favorite. What was number 2?
Wrong. Number 2 was jany.
Jany?
Mm-hmm. This one. And that's it. That is the end of my favorites from 2023. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos.
Like, it helps our channel grow, right? When you like stuff. Yes, it does.
Okay.
When I watch YouTube stuff, everyone says like, so like it.
Okay.
It'll help our channel grow.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. You're awesome. Has anyone said that today? Have an awesome, amazing day.
Have a fabulous day.